CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
What I view as a consummate challenge to hopefully revitalize this franchise to the point where we can compete for championships.
For the third time in his career, Bill Parcells has done just that, taken a team from the depth of despair to the playoffs in just 2 seasons. This time, directing the Jets to their first ever AFC East title. Today, their divisional rivals, the New England Patriots, provide one last test before the playoffs for Parcells and the New York Jets. Cold, sunshiny day. Welcome to the Meadowlands, everyone, for the regular season finale between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. In the AFC, playoff teams have been determined. Today's action will decide where those teams end up. And welcome to Giant Stadium. Along with Phil Simms, I'm Greg Gumbel. The New England Patriots will go this game without quarterback Drew Bledsoe, who is out once again with a bad finger. That means that Scott Zolak will be the quarterback today and next week if Bledsoe's not ready to go. What does Scott Zolak do for the Patriots on the field?
Well, I think he's a big change in personality, Greg. He's a little more outgoing, interacts with his players, I think, very well. But I asked him last night, what's the difference between you and Drew Bledsoe on the football field? He says, hey, I'm a bit of a gambler. I like to take a few chances out there in the field as a quarterback.
Well, the Jets are on the brink of a 12-win season for the first time in their franchise history, but they don't need this game. So how do you get up for a game like this?
Well, Bill Parcells is going to get him up. He's done a lot of things this week. He practiced them hard on Tuesday and Wednesday in full pads. He says, no matter what, we will play all of our starters through the game, no substitutions, and he wants to win that 12th game, which would be the most in Jets franchise history.
Yeah, the Jets have won 9 of their last 10. They would like nothing better than to hit the playoffs on a roll. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening kickoff for you from Giant Stadium right after this. And this will be Meggett from the 4. And is cut down just as he reached the 20-yard line, and there's a penalty marker on the return. And it's a holding call against the Jets, says Jerry Markbright, who is wrapping up a sterling 23-year career as an official.
Number 53 on the return. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Chad Cascadden guilty of the hold, and so the Jets will start a bit deeper. And Vinny Testaverde will bring the offense onto the field. Testaverde with the best touchdown-to-interception ratio in the National Football League. And the rest of the Jets offense looks like this. Tackle to tackle, Elliott, Berger, Mawai, O'Dwyer, and Jason Fabini. In the backfield, Curtis Martin, Richie Anderson replacing Keith Byers again. Keyshawn Johnson, Wayne Corbett, the wide receivers, and Kyle Brady, the tight end. 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. The toss to Martin. And Martin will get maybe 2 yards on the play. Willie McGinnis and Marty Moore with the tackle. Speaking of the Patriot defense, here's how they will start. Ferrick Collins, Eaton, Thomas, and Willie McGinnis. Injury-plagued all season long. Chris Slade, Marty Moore, Teddy Bruschi, the linebackers. And in the secondary, on the corners, Ty Law and Steve Israel. Willie Clay and Lawyer Malloy are the safeties. 2nd and 8 from the 12. Testaverde, near side, Keyshawn Johnson, and can't break away before he's pushed out of bounds, and a little shoving goes on. Keyshawn knocking spectators over on the sideline.
Well, you can see just the size of Keyshawn Johnson as a wide receiver really comes in handy against all defensive backs just because he's bigger than they are. But looking at this Patriot defense today, what they want to do, be conservative, make the Jets make a lot of plays to score touchdowns. When they played a few weeks ago on Monday Night Football, they took some chances, and the Jets, every time the Patriots defense took chances, the Jets made them pay for it.
Pete Carroll, head coach of the New England Patriots. 3rd and 1. Martin, first down yardage and more to the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Greg, last night we had a chance to talk to Steve Sidwell, the defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, and he says, you know what's amazing about what the New York Jets are doing? Curtis Martin, as you noticed that last play, there's nobody in front of him. They run the old Green Bay sweep, the toss sweep outside with no lead back, and I think most defensive coordinators around the league feel the same way. It's just something they have not seen in the National Football League before. The Jets started doing it this year.
I believe I said the 36, make it the 26, and now the 27-yard line. First down, Jets. Martin again. Left side for about 2. Chad Eaton, number 90. The second-year man out of Washington State with the tackle for New England.
Well, when you play the New York Jets, you really got to be prepared for a lot of different looks, a lot of different things you haven't seen before. Look at this. Number 19, Keyshawn Johnson lines up in the backfield. This time he comes in motion, and he's a lead blocker for Curtis Martin. Not doing a lot that time, but the Jets got a little plan today. Send Keyshawn Johnson out of the backfield for some runs and some pass plays.
On 2nd and 8. Straight drop for Testaverde. Blitz in the screen to Martin. Martin stutter step out to about the 33-yard line for about a 4-yard gain. Chris Slade, Henry Thomas on the stop.
Well, that was good hustle by the New England Patriots defense. What happens? Look, up the middle. Here they come. 2 blitzers right at Vinny Testaverde. You can see the linebackers. But when you blitz, the screen play is a good play to have called as an offense. And really, the good hustle by Henry Thomas stops Curtis Martin from having a big play.
Look at Vinny's numbers from last week's victory in Buffalo. 4 wide receivers on 5 wide receivers on 3rd and 4th. Quick drop over the middle. Johnson complete. And that should be enough for the first down, although the Patriots say there's a fumble. No official word yet from the officials on the field.
Well, this is where the New England, the last time these teams played on Monday night, they really struggled. 3rd down situations, no matter what the down and distance was.
First down.
No matter what the situation was, the Jets completed 60% of those situations. They got first downs 60% of the time, and that last play illustrated 5 wide receivers, a quick little dump over the middle to Keyshawn Johnson. Even though he's getting hit, he's proven all year long he is really a terrific receiver over the middle.
When we see Keyshawn Johnson matched up on Ty Law, it will be one of the great matchups of the day. Although he's out here against Steve Israel at the bottom of your screen on first down. Martin to the 40. Maybe the 41 and a gain of 3.
Well, we were talking about that toss sweep, Greg. Now, we know there's a couple different ones that are going to come up later in the game that we're going to talk about because Steve Sidwell told us about them, the defensive coordinator. But 3 of them so far today, 3 different looks by the New York Jets. And what it does, it lets Curtis Martin, nobody in front of him, he has more room to make a decision. And also it gives him that opportunity when it's there, he can cut back and go the opposite direction.
Once again, Martin alone back behind Testaverde on 2nd and 7. Big hole for Martin. Midfield. 45 to the 43, maybe the 42-yard line. 16 yards and another Jets first down.
Well, this is a really interesting looking play. The New York Jets get a formation, and you got to say everybody's to the right side. Kyle Brady comes in motion. It's got to be a run to the right. That's what I'm looking at. And watch Curtis Martin. They go to the left. There's no defender there because what you notice, the Jets last time they played, they got those formations. New England played the toss sweep. So this time the Jets fool and they go the opposite direction.
31 yards on the day already for Curtis Martin. First down from the New England 42. Testaverde throws outside Corbett, and Corbett out of bounds, and another first down for the Jets.
Well, a couple things I want to say here. Keyshawn in the backfield, he goes in motion. 2 defenders go with him to cover Keyshawn Johnson. Now, not real smart, but when 2 go to him, that tells me there's going to be a lot of people singled up. Wayne Corbett singled up, easy completion. And I got to say this too. When I played for Bill Parcells, why didn't we run this offense? I mean, it is, we've said it many times, Greg, but it's just a lot of different looks, formations. and it's tough on defenses.
Double tight end set up now for the Jets on first down. Martin hits an offensive lineman in the backfield. He bumped into Todd Berger, the left guard.
But I think it goes to show you, that last comment, that he's going to do whatever it takes to win football games. And this team, you know, look, if he had big guys and they were all 320-pound linemen who could just run over the defensive line, hey, he'd be lining up and it'd be handoff after handoff to Curtis Martin. As you can see, their running game, they can't do that. They toss it. They try to kind of gimmick you, get you off balance, and try to beat you with their speed.
You saw Todd Berger stumble as he started to pull. That's why Martin bumped into him. 2nd and 9. Testaverde pulls it down, gonna run with it. 30, 25, diving for the first down marker, and he appears to have it. And for an NFL Today report, our first check-in with Jim Nance in New York. Jim.
Greg, this will not be a popular play for Jets fans. A moment ago, Tampa Bay and Trent Dilfer find the open man. It's Rob Thomas, and the Bucs with a quick 7 at Cincinnati. And let's go back now with the Giants really pulling for Cincinnati today. Let's go back to you.
All right, Jim, thanks.
Yeah, the Giant fans and, of course, the Giant players down in Philadelphia today, they're keeping an eye on that scoreboard. So they know right away that it's 7-0 Tampa Bay, and can't be happy with it.
I believe Paul Justin would be the order of the day for all Giants fans, the starting quarterback for Cincinnati today. Timeout on the field. 7:27 to play here in the first. He's going to tell us one thing about Jerry Markwright. The man is always...
There's no charge timeout. There's no charge.
Always in charge.
Well, he is. You know, many games I got a chance to play with Jerry Markwright standing behind me, and what I liked about him, you could talk to him and communicate with him during the game. He'd listen to you. Couldn't change his mind, but he would listen to you. And so a lot of times as a player, he would give you the benefit of the doubt. When you did something wrong, you know, he wouldn't penalize you for it.
Dave Meggett in the game is spread to the top of the field. First down from the 21. Testaverde going to throw for the end zone and overthrows Keyshawn Johnson. And on him out there, Ty Law.
Well, this is really a good matchup today. Ty Law, one of the bigger corners. He plays big. I mean, I'm not saying he's tall or anything, but he's got the size and the physical strength to handle a guy like Keyshawn Johnson. That time, usually he likes to come up and bump. He's in the back. He watched Vinny Testaverde. When he was getting ready to throw the football, he made a good adjustment to it. And look at Keyshawn Johnson, 6'3", and look at the size of the corners and the defensive backs for the New England Patriots.
Ty Law with 9 interceptions on the season. Screen, and Testaverde just throws it away. Patriots sniffed out the screen. In fact, heard someone yell screen.
Yeah, you hear it from up here, and, you know, as a quarterback, Greg, I used to hate that. Now, I looked at a
guys
screen.
yelling screen?
No, well, yeah, because it was the other team. But a screen play, you know, I'm going to complete that pass. It might lose 3 yards, but, hey, it's a completion. So when you got to throw a screen pass away, it upsets you.
You hate to see those incompletions.
That's
on
it.
here.
Some of them you like to chalk up, but screen plays are one.
14th play of this drive. On 3rd and 10, the give is to Meggett. And Meggett inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line, and that will send the field goal unit out onto the field.
You know, Dave Meggett, last week he got a chance to run a draw play for the New York Jets, but let's watch this time. Not many running plays for him. Look, if he cuts it back from standing up here, looks like if he came inside there's a big hole, but hey, and you've only run the football once in the National Football League this year, it's hard to make good decisions.
Dave Meggett last week came off of a 10-month layoff to a broken foot. This is a 36-yard field goal attempt by John Hall. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So with 6:21 to play in the first quarter, Bill Parcells and the Jets draw first blood on Pete Carroll and the Patriots. It's the kind of drive that a coach likes to see. 8 minutes, 39 seconds, 15 plays. The only thing better than that would have been culminating in a touchdown.
Well,
but
that's what they like to see, is those 7 points. But, you know, Greg, I've noticed this the last couple of weeks in the NFL. Defense is kind of settling down, not taking as many chances, and you're seeing longer, more time-consuming drives that are ending up in field goals.
Hall to kick it away. Derek Cullors, 29. Chris Canty, 26, deep for the Patriots. This is Canty. 20, 25, to about the 30-yard line. And that's where Scott Zolak and the New England Patriots will get it started for the first time today when we come back.
On CBS is sponsored by IBM. Are you ready for e-business? And by Staples, the office superstore.
Back at Giant Stadium, Scott Zolak. See his numbers against the 49ers last week in a 24-21 New England win. And they will get it started from the 30-yard line. They get the 31. Give it to Robert Edwards, and Edwards runs into a pile of Jets about a yard past the line of scrimmage. Here's the New England offensive line. Armstrong, Irwin, Wollabaugh, Rucci, and Zephyrus Moss. In the backfield, Robert Edwards and Tony Carter. Sean Jefferson and Tony Simmons, along with Ben Coates. And Jefferson and Simmons shoring up an injury-depleted receiving corps.
But still very fast, even though it's not the first liner.
Edwards to left side, and maybe 2 yards there. The Jets starting defense. Rick Lyle, Jason Ferguson, Ernie Logan, Anthony Pleasant playing a strong front line all season long. Mo Lewis, Pepper Johnson, Brian Cox are the linebackers. At the corners, Ray Mickens and Otis Smith, Victor Green, and Corwin Brown starting at free safety. There is the Pro Bowler Mo Lewis on 3rd and 6. Zolak looking for the screen and has to throw it away. And a penalty marker is down in the backfield.
Intentional grounding on Scott Zolak.
Intentional grounding, number 16. Penalty enforcement is the spot of the foul and loss of down. 4th down.
Well, here's what happens. The New England Patriots, it's like a screenplay. It's a blitz, and they're trying to throw the ball across the formation to Derek Cullors. And look, Mo Lewis and Brian Cox, they run into him going to the quarterback, and there's nowhere for Scott Zolak to throw the football.
You know, that pass is a lot closer to a potential receiver than a lot of other passes that are ruled incomplete.
You know, my contention is, what do you want the quarterback to do? To throw it into tight coverage for the interception? And you know, I think Scott Zolak did the right thing. Throw it near the receiver at his feet.
Tom Tupa will get it away from just inside his 5. Bouncing near midfield, and now Megan. Back to the Jet 45-yard line. 47-yard punt, and Megan manages a 6-yard return and good field position for the Jets as they get ready for their second offensive series. Any question where you are? The Jets Jets have the ball, first down. In pretty good field position with 4 wide receivers. That's Kyle Brady in motion, and the give is to Martin. Martin up the middle, across midfield, and into Patriots territory for about 5-yard pickup. And we'll take this opportunity to remind you, Monday on CBS, are you feeling a little bloated from the holidays? Lose pounds and gain laughs when Kevin James and Jerry Stiller star in The King of Queens, Monday on CBS.
You know, I can relate to that promo, really. Over the holidays, every time everybody turned their back, scarf a cookie, eat a piece of cake. You don't haven't had anything yet, dear.
It's a lot like the broadcast booth.
Yeah, that's right.
Jets 2nd and 5. Testaverde to throw. Plenty of time. And going to throw over the middle. Keyshawn Johnson is there, first down. Inside the 35 to about the 31-yard line. Willie Clay with the tackle after an 18-yard pickup.
Well, this is the thing that has really hampered the New England Patriots defense. Vinny Testaverde looked right, he looked left, couldn't find anybody, really about ready to panic, run the football, and look down the middle. Keyshawn Johnson, now that is a terrific job of going to his left. He stopped and reverses the field. That is too much to ask of a defensive secondary of the Patriots.
For 20 minutes before the game, one of the assistant coaches threw Keyshawn Johnson passes exactly like that. Martin battles his way to about the 27. For an NFL Today report, Jim Nance in New York. Jim.
All right, Atlanta off to a tremendous start against Miami here, Greg. 2 touchdown passes, Chandler to Santiago both times, but this one may have come at a price. Chandler pulled down, sprained his lower back, and he has been replaced now by Steve DeBerg midway through the first. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, a little good news and bad news there for the New England Patriots.
Well, nothing to play for. The Atlanta Falcons showing what kind of football team they are, coming out against a good Miami team and getting ahead like that.
On 2nd and 6, Martin inside the 25 to about the 23.
You know, Craig, a minute ago you were just talking about Keyshawn Johnson being out on the field 20 minutes, or for 20 minutes catching passes and doing all those things. You know what? It's never an accident in this football league. Never. You get rewarded for working hard, and people who are playing well, that's because they're paying attention, working hard, and doing all those extra things.
Bill Parcells looks on at 3rd and 2 from the 23. Martin again. First down across the 20 to about the 19-yard line. And the Jets have come out with a determination to run the football today.
Well, they have, and I tell you what, just the difference in this running game, all the different looks, counters, sweeps, and that's one of the reasons. It's catching New England's defense off guard. When a defense is standing over there and they're looking and going, oh, what's this, what's that, they're reacting instead of attacking. And when you can't attack as a football player on defense, you're letting the offense get that first couple yards against you before you can do anything.
Under a minute and a half to play in the first quarter, and the New England defense has to feel it has been on the field for forever. The screen incomplete, intended for Martin, as Testaverde hits the deck courtesy of Chris Slade.
Well, you know, again, we were just talking about when you got to react instead of attack, so New England says to heck with it. Let's attack, and they do a little blitz this time. Catch the New York Jets in the screen. Vinny Testaverde does a good job, though, of just throwing it away.
Jet offensive line has done a great job of protecting Vinny Testaverde, who's been sacked just once in the last 4 games. And that covers 164 pass attempts. 2nd and 10. Forward to about the 15. That'd be a pickup of 4 on the play.
Well, that time we saw New England Patriots player Willie McGinnis, number 55, getting in there and chasing the ball down from behind and making a tackle. And this is here he is, number 55. And boy, if he could just come through, get healthy, and be a factor again for the New England defense, especially when they get into the playoff game next week, it will help everything.
As scarcely as he has played, I'm sure he just likes to hit someone.
Yeah.
Dave Meggett in the game, one of the 5 wide receivers. 3rd and 5. Quick drop, Testaverde throws this side complete. Corbett, first down inside the 10.
One of the reasons why Wayne Corbett is such a good 3rd down receiver, one, he gets the lineup close to the quarterback, and when you do that, that gives you the options to go down the field, across the field, or break out. This time he breaks out. Tough coverage for Steve Israel to try to do that.
The patrons to the left are on their feet. They'll get the action at their end of the field as time winds down here in the first quarter. It has been all Jets thus far. It's only a field goal lead, but the Jets are knocking at the door again as they look for win number 12 of the regular season. Second quarter coming up, 3-0 Jets. Basis of the Jets ball possession game thus far has been Curtis Martin, who had just 38 yards rushing in the game against Buffalo last week. 51 already here as we start the second quarter. 1st and goal for the Jets from the 6. Time of possession heavily favoring the Jets. Martin again. Cuts back inside over the 5 to the 4.
Greg, we were talking during the break about how the Jets have come out and they've been so crisp and really getting after it. A couple of things. We said in the opening, Bill Parcells practiced them really hard this week because he wanted their attention. He didn't want to hear about the game, didn't mean anything, didn't want to hear about the holidays getting in the way of winning this football game. But what I like, he has given them a lot of new plays. And when you do that to a team, it makes them concentrate and get ready.
On second and goal from the 4, Testaverde throws into the end zone. Wide open touchdown, Kyle Brady. The word to describe the Jets since the opening kickoff is execution.
Execution again. Kyle Brady lined up on the right. What happens is, look at that. Keyshawn Johnson came in motion, attracted the attention of the defenders. They forget to cover Kyle Brady in the back of the end zone.
John Hall, now 42 extra points in 43 attempts this season. The first drive took 15 plays. This one, 10 plays. Testaverde to Brady. 4 yards and a touchdown and a 10-0 Jet lead.
Kyle Brady's going to catch the touchdown in the back of the end zone. But watch the defenders for the New England Patriots. When Keyshawn Johnson comes in motion, he attracts the defense, lets Kyle Brady. Whoa, everybody runs the Keyshawn triple coverage. But nobody on Kyle Brady man, that's the way you like to throw touchdown passes.
Kyle Brady, 4 yards and a touchdown, capping the 10-play drive. Colors and Canty deep. From the 11, this is Color. Across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. What a turnaround for Kyle Brady, who had 22 catches and 2 touchdowns last year, 28 catches and 5 this year for touchdowns. So far this afternoon, and that 1 touchdown pass puts him into some pretty elite company, tying Joe Namath and Al Dorrell for most touchdown passes in a season for the New York Jets. And considering that he's missed 3 starts this season, not a bad job.
Yeah, it really is, Craig. And any time, I know it's a different era in the National Football League, you throw more, but when your name gets up there with Joe Namath in any category, that's pretty special.
Zolak and the Patriots, first down from their own 26, had the ball for 3 offensive plays in the first quarter. Deep drop, Zolak screens to Edwards, and Edwards chopped down across the 25-yard line. Pickup of 2. Our man on the sidelines, as always, Armin Katayan. Armin.
Well, nice to see you guys again. You know, Greg, you'd mentioned the rivalry between these two teams. I think the word you used was hostilities. Willie Clay said it best, the Patriots safety. He said there are so many former Patriots on both the Bills and the Jets. These games are really special. You really get up for them. He said it's like a family reunion. And we laughed, you know, when we heard it. We said, yeah, it's like the Hatfields and the McCoys kind of family reunion. They said Keith Byers is one person who will not be in this reunion today. As you mentioned, he's out. Bill Parcells, coach's decision on that broken arm. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. Edwards losing the football, and the Jets have it. Ray Mickens was there to pluck it out of the air.
And Ray Mickens is getting a lot like Otis Smith on the other corner for the New York Jets. The football just has a way of finding its way to him, and good job of recovering that fumble.
And Pete Carroll looking for a ray of sunlight.
72, then number 98, Anthony Pleasant, boom, hits him high, and just the force of the 2 guys tackling makes Robert Edwards just give the ball up.
And Ray Mickens,
nice catch.
third-year man out of Texas A&M, replacing the injured Aaron Glenn, the Pro Bowler.
And there's the 2 guys. You know, the Jets defensive line, you don't talk about them a lot, but what they do, they take up the space and let those linebackers run around and make the plays.
Now Testaverde and the Jets first down at the New England 33. The pitch from Martin. Martin, right side, inside the 30 to about the 29.
You know, we were talking earlier about this sweep plays of the New York Jets. Here's Keyshawn Johnson. See, they don't need a lead fullback because he is so big as a wide receiver. He's able to get out there and get in the way of linebackers, defensive linemen, and especially defensive backs because of his size. He can just get in the way, and it's hard to run around him.
So he reached out and grabbed Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah, but he thought the play was going to come around him, and he had Teddy Bruschi sealed to the inside.
Yes, he did. On 2nd and 6, the pitch to Martin. Curtis Martin is going to sleep really well tonight as he gets to the 25, and we check in with Jim Nantz at our NFL Today studio.
Well, Greg and Phil, it's getting grim for the Giants' playoff hopes. First play, second quarter, and the Bucs, Mike Allstat scores for the second time today. 21-0, just a minute into the second, and let's go back to you.
And those Tampa Bay Bucs playing with a determination today.
Well, have you ever heard the term mailing it in? You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. And that's what the Bengals. It's been a long year. It's the last game. They're playing a team that's motivated once to get in the playoffs. It's just hard to compete against that.
3rd and 2 for the Jets at the 25. Here's Martin to the left side. First down yardage across the 20 and to the 19-yard line. And the ground game continues to roll for the New York Jets.
Couple things. We've seen a couple plays where they've been pitching and they throw the ball to the outside, and they've gone back the other way with Curtis Martin and had some good runs. Now when they pitch it, the New England defense is not over pursuing, and that's letting Curtis Martin get those extra yards.
Curtis Martin, 15 carries on the day now, 71 yards. And Richie Anderson joins him in the backfield now on first down. Just 5 offensive plays for the Patriots. Testaverde over the middle, complete to Brady. Quarterback's delight when the ground game is going, and then Testaverde can stand back there and pick and choose.
Well, quarterback's delight, I don't know, Greg. Also, the delight is that Vinny Testaverde that time looked at about 3 different receivers. Then he has the time, nobody around him, to throw the ball down and low where Kyle Brady can catch it over the middle. Can't be intercepted, can't be tipped it up in the air. And, the pass protection for the New York Jets all year long, I think, has been terrific, especially in the last 5 weeks.
2nd and 2, Martin, right side, and may have been brought down shy of the first down. Lawyer, Malloy, and Marty Moore.
And you know that we've said it before, but when you watch Vinny Testaverde drop back, the problem is New England, only way they can get a pass rush is to send their secondary, take chances. And what has happened this year, another trend around the league is teams on offense all around the league have gotten better at picking up blitzes and are throwing the ball down the field, making more big plays. And, that was just some of the thoughts of Steve Sitwell. He was telling those to us last night. So you need a pass rusher on defense to be successful.
3rd and 1. First down, Jets. It'll be 1st and goal. What Steve Sitwell made very clear is that he has a great deal of respect for the Jets offense and the way they execute and the number of different things they can do.
Just a number of things, the formations, the plays. We told you about the sweeps. All the passing plays, too, create such trouble for your offense. And, even Pete Carroll was telling us, he goes, look, the Jets will have 2 running backs, a tight end, 2 wide receivers. And you think it's got to be an off-tackle run, right? Well, they split you out with 5 wide receivers in that. He says that's hard for our defense or any defense to execute against that.
On 1st and goal from the 8, Testaverde throws this side, complete. Martin, touchdown. What a fitting end to a lengthy drive, which has been geared for the most part to the running of Curtis Martin.
Well, again, it's just the protection. Nobody around Testaverde. And Curtis Martin, this is what he brings to your football team, running it, but also the ability to catch it and having the speed to make those extra things happen with it once he catches the football.
John Hall for the extra point is good. 9:05 to play in the first half. Jets with a 17-0 lead. Vinny Testaverde with a new single-season record, 27 touchdown passes for the New York Jets.
AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it. And by the NASDAQ MX Market Group, the market of markets.
Back at Giant Stadium, along with Armin Katayan and Phil Simms, Greg Gumbel, the Jets with a 17-0 lead, 9:05 to play here in the first half. And John Hall set to kick it again. And the Patriots looking for some sort of offensive spark. This is Colors. 25, 30, to about the 30, about the 25, about the 27-yard line. Once again, the record-setting touchdown pass. Vinny Testaverde, best ever in Jets history.
This is 72 yards. See how quick I got that up? You need 72 more to pass, Freeman McNeil, but what a good day for a good start for Curtis Martin.
On first down, Zolak trying to get something started for the Patriots, finds Ben Coates across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 6, and we'll take this opportunity to remind you Monday on CBS. More and more people are discovering that Everybody Loves Raymond is the funniest show on television. Find out why. Monday at 9, 8 Central, right here on CBS. Drew Bledsoe. Sideline with the injured right index finger. Can't hold the football.
Can't shave either.
Edwards straight ahead for a couple. And that's just short of first down yardage. Yeah, you know, we heard a lot about that beard, that work in progress.
Yeah, we're going to have to show you a few things later that Scott Zolak, who is a very good artist, drew us a couple photos or pictures of Drew Bledsoe, and here's number one.
Well, he's not Da Vinci.
Wait, now here's the one. This is when he's making fun of Drew's body. Look at that belly, and he says that beard, he's been growing that thing for about 4 weeks.
3rd and 1 for the Patriots. They'll look for it on the ground, and Edwards has it and more. 45 midfield and dropped the football. And picked it up again in Jets territory. 17-yard gain and a first down.
Good blocking at the point of attack for the New England Patriots. Good job of being patient and finding the hole by Robert Edwards, but I don't know what's going on with this football. It's not that cold out today where the ball, sometimes it gets really hard and slick when the weather is cold, but it's just not that bad out. And he's wearing gloves, so Pete Carroll, he fumbled right in front of Pete Carroll that time, and
I think Pete Carroll was going to jump on the ball.
Well, he just turned around. He couldn't take it.
First down for the Patriots today, and out of the shotgun, Zolak coming across, incomplete, intended for Derek Cullors.
Now I like this by the New England Patriots, putting Scott Zolak in the shotgun. You got to change the tempo of the game. Why do you got to change it? Well, the other one was getting you killed. You're down 17-0, but you know, New England would have liked to come in here today, had great patience, run the football, slow the game down, but when you're down 17-0, those options go out the window.
Zolak just 2 out of 4, and there's Bill Belichick.
Scott Zolak says, I know Belichick, he's going to blitz me.
Cullors straight ahead, close to the 40. Pickup of about 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
You know, a couple things the New York Jets defense was worried about New England's offense, even though Scott Zolak is the quarterback. One, that they would be very patient with their running game, which they were kind of concerned about. And the other thing they're very worried about is the speed of the wide receivers of the New England Patriots, matching up the 3rd and 4th defensive backs against the guys like Tony Simmons, Troy Brown, and Sean Jefferson.
Jet crowd comes alive on 3rd and 5. Zolak finds his man, Cullors, out of bounds. No, clock continues to run, but it is enough for a New England first down. So the Patriots get a little bit of a roll on offense, 11-yard pickup.
Well, it's a good job by Scott Zolak hanging in there. Watch at the last second. You're going to see Mo Lewis come untouched right in front of the quarter, right in his face. He waits in there to the last second and hits Derek Cullors, who's one-on-one with a linebacker out of the backfield, and that's a good matchup for New England. I think that's something the Jets, when they weren't counting on today, is seeing those throws to the backs out of the backfield.
So the Patriots have marched to the Jet 25-yard line now. First down. Zolak with time, throws, has his man, Coates, and Coates inside the 10-yard line to the 8.
Well, boy, if you could just watch it to that last play, Scott Zolak is just pumped up, looking at that Jet sideline, just telling him, you keep blitzing and coming after me, I'll find the open guy down the field. It's a blitz by the Jets, a zone behind it, and look, nobody around Ben Coates, and Scott Zolak throws a strike in there. I'll look at him.
Yeah, we were talking with Zolak last night, and he acknowledges, yeah, he's a little bit of an excitable guy.
Yeah, that's what, hey, that's good. He's a backup quarterback. It's a nice change of pace for the New England Patriots after Drew Bledsoe.
The pitch now is for Cedric Shaw, who has blockers around the left side, loses his footing, and may have lost yardage on the play. May have lost about 2.
You know, Greg, I like the fact when you have a starter in the second string, Zolak the backup, I like for him to be different. In other words, Drew Bledsoe's hurt, he goes down. Scott Zolak comes back in. It's kind of a different personality, a different system, and a different player for the team, which I think helps it.
Chad Cascadden slow to get up off the turf for the Jets. The linebacker, number 53, and has not yet left the field. I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll be sending you back to our New York studio for the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, Mike Lombardi getting you caught up on all the highlights this final regular season weekend and playoff updates. And Sam Weish and Kevin Harlan will preview the Seattle-Denver game. That's coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. You and I were just saying this before the game today. Can you believe this is week 16?
Well, no, it did go back quick, Greg. I was going to say something really demeaning like, well, working with you, it's been a long year, but...
Been forever.
No, it's been great. It is hard to believe that the 16th game of the season has kind of snuck up on us.
Second and goal from the 9. Zolak looking, throws, end zone incomplete, intended for number 84, Sean Jefferson.
You know, that's something they're going to do probably more with Scott Zolak than they would with Drew Bledsoe. Play action fakes, get him out of the pocket. Not that Zolak said mobile, but look at this throw. On the run, Sean Jefferson, full speed. Just can't get both hands up there to react to the catch and make it.
I'll tell you one thing that doesn't change from Bledsoe to Zolak. They're both pretty big guys.
They're both big. Well, that's right.
Bledsoe, 6'5", 235. Scott Zolak, 6'5", 235. Third and goal from the 9. Play clock down to 1, and he has to call timeout. That stops the clock with 4:11 to play here in the first half. 17-0 Jets. They had a mix-up with the play clock, and so there was no charge timeout to the Patriots on that last play.
Well, they gave a timeout. We go to commercial, and they come back, and what happened is Jerry Markwright and the crew reset the clock to 25 after the incompletion to Sean Jefferson. It didn't give the Patriots time, so they realized the mistake, and they go, let's go.
Let's play. So Adam Vinatieri now, 31 for 31 in points after, 30 for 38 in field goals, but a perfect 19 for 19 from 37 or less. This one, a 19-yarder to get the Patriots on the board. And it's good. So the Patriots come back with a little of what they need, and that's some ball control, possession, good drive, and they get on the board.
By Pontiac and by Little Caesars, featuring our authentic 1959 recipe, Pizza Pizza.
Welcome back to an excitable Jets crowd as they prep for the playoffs themselves. Jets will have the first weekend off. They get a first-round bye.
What do you think this place will be like in 2 weeks when they have that first playoff game here, you know, after a week off, you know, anticipating and...
A little noisy.
Yeah, it'd be a little noisy. It'd be quite exciting.
Jets have had only one playoff game here in the 1990s and lost that one in 1991 to the New England Patriots.
It's possible they could be playing the Patriots. Well, I don't know if it is or not.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Okay, that's good for Carter.
But that's not possible. Kevin Williams from the 15. 25, hit hard and knocked down at the 30 at about the 31-yard line. Well, it's true. Monday Night Football is coming to a close, but you can still find all the excitement without the halftime here on CBS. It's the best comedy lineup on television. Cosby, King of Queens, Everybody Loves Raymond, and Becker. That's Monday on CBS.
Good music. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Greg dances during all the musical parts of every promotion.
I even danced to the Jets, Jets. 3:17 to play here in the first half. First down for the Jets from the 31. And Testaverde to throw. Incomplete, intended for Keyshawn Johnson.
Now that was one of those plays where Keyshawn Johnson lined up in the backfield, went in motion, and went out for the pass. Now what the Jets were hoping that one of the safeties, here he comes, look at this. Keyshawn playing fullback. Now he goes in motion, but look who's covering him. Ty Law, number 24. What they were hoping to cause some confusion with the New England defense and get one of the safeties, either Willie Clay or Lawyer Malloy, covering Keyshawn Johnson.
On 2nd and 10, Johnson and Ty Law on him once again. That's a pickup of about 5. And Keyshawn has told us, in fact, Keyshawn will tell anyone who will listen to him, that he doesn't just enjoy catching the football. He likes to do everything else associated with a winning program. He says, if you want me to block downfield, I'll be happy to do that for you.
Well, and he's done it, Greg. I mean, we've already shown that today, that he has been a valuable part for the offense, and he's letting them get their best players on the field at all times. In other words, by him being a good blocker, they can keep Curtis Martin as the only back in the backfield and keep an extra wide receiver in there a lot of times.
Coming up on 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Jets looking at 3rd and 5, and they have 5 wide receivers. Testaverde for Megan, incomplete and almost intercepted. Ty Law going for pick number 10.
Now that is not a good decision by Vinny Testaverde. If I look out to my left and I got Dave Meggett against Ty Law, hey, I don't look left anymore. I'm looking to the other side. And Ty Law that time read the drop by the quarterback, and the Jets and Vinny Testaverde very fortunate that he didn't pick the pass off.
And the Jets will punt for the first time today. John Kidd will kick it away to Troy Brown. And Brown sees it bounce at the 30. It bounces out of bounds, close to the 25-yard line. So that's a 40-yard punt with no return.
Well, the momentum of the game has been changed. New England stopped it. They scored the 3 points. Now they got a chance with 2:19 to go in the first half to, hey, even if they go drive down and kick a field goal, that would be, I think, a tremendous uplift for the football team going in at halftime.
Pete Carroll, who has fought the injury bug all season long. In fact, 15 different players have cost him a total of 52 games total missed.
Yeah, and you know what? It says a lot. They've done a good job keeping this team together with all the injuries. And I asked Pete Carroll about that last night, about coaching when you got all these injuries. He says, hey, you got to be resourceful. You got to find a lot of new ways to get it done.
Edwards, straight ahead, bounces off tacklers out to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. Pickup of about 6, and that's the play that should take us to the 2-minute warning. Zolak comes over to the side to have a conversation with Pete Carroll during the timeout. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Patriots. 2 minutes to play in the first half at the Meadowlands. Dak Amex halftime report. Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, Mike Lombardi with all the highlights, playoff updates. Sam Weiss and Kevin Harlan will preview the Seattle-Denver game still to come today. That's coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. First, Scott Zolak and the Patriots trying to do something with the 2 minutes remaining. 2nd and 3 from the 32. Pollard is met and pushed back. Anthony Pleasant was there to meet him as soon as he made contact with the football.
Well, the New York Jets not fooled that time. They are playing the run, staying inside, and Anthony Pleasant just catches Zephyrus Moss, gets upfield and makes the tackle in the backfield.
A not so pleasant meeting for Colors. The pass to Jefferson is complete. And that one looks to be short of the first down, or very close to a first down to the 35.
Well, to me, it looked like he was just a little bit shy of the 35-yard line, but it's a first down.
Jerry Markwright says it is indeed a first down, and the clock continues to move. A minute 15 to play.
Jerry Markwright's last regular season game, he's in a hurry. No measurement, it's a first down.
Zolak down in the backfield, and another pleasant play for the New York Jets.
Well, I tell you what, and what a pleasant surprise, too. That's what he's been for the New York Jets this year, doing a good job stopping the run. Number 98, here he comes. Oh, what a good move. Beats Bruce Armstrong, a very good pass protector, to the inside, but he's been good against the run, but he's also been a valuable pass rusher in situations like this.
On 2nd and 18, down the sideline, incomplete. Otis Smith with the chance for the interception, the pass intended for Sean Jefferson.
You know, that's the one thing that's probably turned this Jets defense around. A lot of things have turned it around since the beginning of the season. But Anthony Pleasant, you know, we talked about New England, nobody getting to the quarterback, putting the pressure on the passer. The Jets are finding ways to do it with blitzes, Brian Cox, linebackers, but Anthony Pleasant has been a mainstay from the defensive lineman standpoint.
I'd just like to know how many weeks you've been contemplating saying a pleasant surprise.
You know, I work on this stuff at night, do my homework.
3rd and 18, Jet crowd to its feet. Zolak down the sideline, incomplete. Overthrowing his intended receiver, Anthony Ladd.
Well, the one thing you can see from Scott Zolak, he can throw it a long way.
And he throws rainbows.
Yes, he throws it. You know, that's what I like, too. He throws that long ball. Not only does he get down the field, but he throws it very high. He gives his receiver a chance to adjust to wherever it's thrown to.
So Tom Tupa will kick it to Dave Meggett. In favor of the Jets, and now take a Patriot roll, and it'll come to a rest at right around the 40-yard line.
Now there's 27 seconds to go in the first half. That was good clock management by the New England Patriots. They have 3 timeouts, but when they were having the runs tackled in the back, they didn't call a timeout because they go, well, hey, we don't get a first down. We don't want to leave about a minute left on the clock for the New York Jets. So, you know, they were in a position there. Good job of coaching from the sidelines and managing the clock.
It would be defensive clock management, or the DCM, sure, as we would refer to it.
DCM. You work on that last night?
Yes, I stay up at night with these.
Well, you didn't stay up long enough.
Dave Meggett in the lineup for these last 27 seconds for the Jets. Testaverde from the shotgun. Testaverde downfield, intercepted. Lawyer Malloy with the pick. His 6th of the season.
Yeah, that is not a good decision again by Vinny Testaverde. And what happens is he throws to the inside receiver of 3 receivers going down the field. Now, Lawyer Malloy was in the middle of the field. Look, here he is. Vinny Testaverde throws it to the inside receiver here. Look if he throws it to the next one, the second to the top, which is Keyshawn Johnson. Well, they actually switched places. He should have gone outside. That way the safety could not get over the top and make that play. Well, that was a good job by Lawyer Malloy. Hey, go back to the middle, read the quarterback. He looks right. Run over there, and he makes the interception.
This Patriot team has done.
Set the game clock to 18 seconds.
Jerry Markwright going to put 3 more seconds on. That's not to Pete Carroll's liking. He said 20.
Please. Thank you.
I thought the clock said 20 when I looked up at it.
It did say 20 when Lawyer Malloy was brought to a halt.
3 timeouts for the New England Patriots, so you can throw the ball over the middle. You can do anything here. And if the ball is completed, call a timeout immediately.
Zolak, this side, incomplete. Number 80, Troy Brown, the intended receiver, and Zolak hit the turf.
Yeah, Anthony Pleasant one more time back on the quarterback. You know, something the Patriots probably did not count on was that matchup, Bruce Armstrong against Anthony Pleasant. They expect to win that one. You know, Bruce Armstrong, he blocks all the good pass rushers. He's always been accountable for Bruce Smith when they play there. Has done a good job. So Anthony Pleasant doing a good job today.
You see the kind of pressure that Zolak has been under. Bruce Armstrong, a 6-time Pro Bowler. On second down, the blitz, Zolak has to unload it. Number 53, Chad Cascadden, was in on Zolak in a hurry.
Wow, this pass rush. I mean, that time the Patriots kept 2 people in the backfield. They're looking to get protection, but Chad Cascadden comes in almost untouched. Makes Scott Zolak throw the football away. You know, this was a great opportunity. This one and the time before for New England, just to get a chance to make the score, get a little closer, and really turn things around in this football game, but not able to capitalize.
And now, looking at 3rd and 10, Zolak calls a timeout and takes a walk over to the near sideline.
Well, you got 9 seconds to go. It's 3rd and 10 in this situation. You're in the 37-yard line. Without a doubt, you take a chance. So you send somebody down the middle of the field, deep in cut, really deep. You throw the football no matter what. Pass interference, or if you complete it, you might be able to stop the clock with 1 or 2 seconds to go and get a long field goal attempt. But you got to know that. Scott Zolak's got to know. Now Drew Bledsoe's going out on the field to talk to him. Don't forget how much time is left. Throw the football. Don't let the clock run out in case we catch it, you know, somewhere down the field.
You think Drew knows that Scott draws those pictures of him?
Yes. You know why? Because I've been in their locker room many times, and there are pictures of Drew Bledsoe hanging around and other players, and trust me, they're never favorable. You know, they're always a little, well, they pick up
your worst parts.
There you go, the worst parts on your body.
On 3rd and 10, Zolak throwing, colors incomplete. And on 4th down, Tom Tupa will kick it away with 4 seconds to play in the half.
Now, you know, it's easy for me to sit up here sometimes, but I wonder, if I'm the coach of the team, if I'm Pete Carroll, do I throw the Hail Mary, the alley-oop pass right here, hope for a pass interference to get that field goal attempt because the first half would run out, or do you risk punting the football? To me, it seems like it would be a greater risk punting the football and having it blocked.
Or Tom Tupa could just run around for 4 seconds, slide down, but he's going to kick it.
Don't do that to your punter.
And Megan is going to let it roll as time expires here in the first half. Our halftime score, the New York Jets 17 and New England 3 coming up. Off to New York. And the NASDAQ Amex halftime report, Jim Nantz and Company will get you caught up on highlights and all the NFL news after these messages from your local station. Back at the Meadowlands, where the Jets are leading the Patriots 17-3 at halftime. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. As you look at this first half, and I know you saw it because I was right here with you, what's the difference between these two teams so far?
Well, the New York Jets, 17 first downs. That means they controlled the clock, but the biggest thing is the 3rd down conversions. They had great success against New England in the first game up there. Today, they're 6 of 8. That keeps those drives going. That's why they got 17 first downs.
As you look at the first half stats, you can see that the Patriots rallied well in the time of possession department, considering they had the football just 1:41 seconds in the first quarter. Came back to make it respectable by halftime. Let's check in with Armin Katayan downstairs. Armin.
Greg, exactly what those halftime stats were saying. I asked Pete Carroll about the offense, and he said, hey, it's not the offense, it's the defense. We've got to stop them. We've got to stop them. As far as Parcells, he told me, he said, we played really well. He said the first couple series in the 3rd quarter are going to be very important to us. We've got to keep the pressure on. He said the last thing I told the team at halftime, he said, don't make any silly mistakes. Don't force the ball, particularly with Vinny there towards the end. Back to you, Greg.
All right, Armin, thanks.
That's not what Bill really said to Armin. He says, hey, get out of my face, get out of the way. Oh, no. It's Armin. He must like you.
Bill likes Armin.
Yeah, he's awful nice to him.
Everybody likes Armin. It's a Monday night show. Everybody loves Armin.
Yeah. I wonder if he's getting paid for that, too.
John Hall will kick it away for the Jets to start the second half. Derek Cullors, Chris Canty Deep for New England. Across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Kevin Williams with the tackle for the Jets.
That's a good sign for your football team anytime your kicker, John Hall, is down there trying to make the tackle and getting in a scuffle with some of the players. I mean, this is not... John Hall is a big kicker. He's about 6'3 and a half, 6'4". Vernon Crawford, oh, yes, he took a nice shot, a cheap shot at John Hall. But he fought back. That's good.
You can't pick on a kicker, can you?
No, sure you can. Why not?
Zolak and the Patriots first down from their own 26-yard line, and Zolak goes right to the air trying to set up a screen, throws to Edwards. Edwards to about the 28-yard line. Only a 2-yard pickup on the play.
I was going to say, Greg, the screen plays by the New England Patriots, the timing is not there, the spacing is terrible, and that time only for the good runs falling forward for a yard or two is keeping them from losing yards practically on every single one.
Ernie Zampese trying to find something that'll work against this Jet defense. Call it a 3-yard pickup on the play. It's 2nd and 7. Edwards across the 30 to the 31. And Anthony Pleasant playing a terrific football game today in on that stop.
Yeah, doing both on the run and just creating tremendous pressure in the passing game in the first half. But that last run we saw, I think that's what the Patriots need to do. Be very patient running the football. Hope you can get things going. That way you can allow Scott Zolak some extra time to throw the football down the field.
See, Curtis Martin has carried the ball 10 times more than Robert Edwards so far today. 3rd and 5. Zolak going to go deep down the far sideline, and it is out of bounds. 81 Tony Simmons on the receiving end down there.
Well, I tell you what, Scott Zolak can air it out. And I mean, he throws it up there, but the only thing is, give your receiver a chance on the sideline. Don't throw it out of bounds. Hey, his receivers, Tony Simmons, they got good size. Sean Jefferson, you throw it down the field, give him a chance to make the adjustments for the catch.
That thing was cleared to land over at Newark. Dave Meggett deep for the punt by Tupa. On a bounce. Meggett from the 25. Across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. And a penalty marker is down on the near side of the field.
See, Tom Tupa is having a tough time punting today. That's about 3 of them off the side of his foot, low line drives. Illegal man down the field.
Let's see if Bill Parcells would like them to kick it again.
Ineligible man downfield, number 45, kicking team. Penalty is declined. First down.
He'll take the ball where it is from the 38-yard line when we come back. 13:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. Happy holidays, everyone.
Well, Sanders relaxing at the game, had a cold beer there, so.
First down, Jets, 40-yard line. Martin. Not much there. May have lost a yard. Willie McGinnis, who has had problems with a groin pull, missed some time in the first half, and he's back out there for the start of the second half.
Yeah, he had it taped earlier on the sideline sitting on the bench, but now he's got the tape off. He's out there going to try to make one more effort at playing today. And, you know, as soon as he can make it through this game and not make it worse, then he could be a big factor in the playoff game next week.
2nd and 11 now from the 39. Curtis Martin for a couple. You know, this takes us back to whether or not players who may be marginally injured should be playing or not in games that are, you don't want to say meaningless, because every game is meaningless, but I want to take this back to a conversation you had with Bill Parcells. You dared to ask him if this game was meaningful or not to him.
Yeah, and boy, he tore me up when I asked him that. What do you mean? He gave me all the reasons why. You got to win 12. We got to do this. We're competitors. You remember, Sims? At one time in your life, you were a competitor. You know, well, and I laugh at it, but he was very serious and really did not even like being asked the question.
5 wide receivers for the Jets on 3rd and 7. Testaverde, outside Mega. First down, Jets inside the 45.
Now the difference this time, Dave Meggett is outside. Now he's against a strong safety, Willie Clay. So as a quarterback, Testaverde sees that. It's a much better matchup. Look all the way up top. Dave Meggett, Willie Clay, a strong safety. That's a good matchup for the New York Jets. Willie Clay's not used to playing outside against the sideline. And it's an easy completion for Vinny Testaverde.
So first down for the Jets now as they move to the 42-yard line of the Patriots. Meggett, the ex-Giant, ex-Patriot. Play action. Testaverde over the middle. Keyshawn Johnson incomplete. Ty Law was there.
Boy, look at Ty Law backpedaling. I mean, this is a really terrific matchup. And Ty Law, probably number 24, he's probably having the best year of any cornerback in the National Football League. Always drawing the best receiver for the other team and almost always doing a good job of covering them.
We asked Pete Carroll last night, well, just what makes Ty Law so good? And Pete said, well, everything he does.
Well, everything. And what he meant by that, you take the talent, he's put the experience, the hard work, came back to training camp this year in the best shape of his career, and he's put it all together on the field.
Chris Slade missed Testaverde. Testaverde going to run. 35, 30, 20. Out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. First down, Jets. That's a 25-yard jaunt by the new speedster, Vinny Testaverde. Is that his mouthpiece he left behind?
No, those are the hot packs he has in that pouch in front of him, and they come falling out as he's running. But again, you've heard this story so many times. He avoids the rush, but not making a big mistake. Watch these things. There they go flying out, Greg. He's going so fast, the rest of his equipment can't keep up with him. Look at that. Here they come. One. Boy.
There's a flashlight back up here at midfield. First down for 17. Rolls, right, throws, incomplete. Keyshawn Johnson, his intended receiver, and Lawyer Malloy was there.
Boy, this Keyshawn Johnson now, I got to tell you what, he is alert and on the ball when he's out there as a wide receiver. That time he saw the route. Vinny scrambled. He was on the sideline. He immediately turned up the field and was open for the touchdown. They were just not able to connect. But I was talking about Vinny. The big thing is, and we've heard it a couple times this year from Coach Bill Parcells, when he scrambles, don't make that bad decision. Throw it in the middle of the field. The good thing he's been doing most of the year, pulling the ball in and just running for some first downs.
On 2nd and 10, quick drop this time. Dedrick Ward, touchdown.
Well, this game is about matchups. There you saw Bucky Jones, number 34, a rookie playing quarterback for the first time in his career this year in the National Football League. A safety in college, covering maybe the fastest man, the New York Jets, Dedrick Ward. That is a really tough matchup for the New England Patriots and Bucky Jones.
John Hall for the extra point, and it is good. 10:31 to play, third quarter. Jets 24-3. Vinny Testaverde, another touchdown pass.
Is sponsored by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Interstate Batteries, the official battery of the family car.
Happy holidays to you. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan, and the rest of our superb CBS crew here at the Meadowlands. 10:31 to play in the third quarter. The Jets on Vinny Testaverde's third touchdown pass of the day lead the Patriots 24-3. And it has been an excitable Jets crowd. We're sitting here watching and listening to them during the commercial break.
Oh, I tell you, it is. It's you know, I tell you what it does too, though, Greg. We're hearing all the cheers, the Jets cheers, Jets, 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 Jets. But it does something to the players. It tells them the crowd is into it. And of course, most of the time, The crowd's into it when the team's really playing well.
Well, that's a lot of years of frustration that's been building up in these Jets fans. John Hall kicks it away. Derek Cullors. 20, 25, 30. And breaks free. Pulls from behind and finally brought down just shy of the Jets' 45-yard line. Kevin Williams and Scott Frost with the tackle. Derek Cullors looking for a little inspiration for the Patriots with a 47-yard kickoff return. We'll take a timeout. Hey, the CBS Sportsline question of the week is a dandy. Who would you pick as the top coach in the league this season? Dennis Green, Bill Parcells, Dan Reeves, Mike Shanahan? Log on to vote at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline. Merry Christmas. First down, Edwards to the right side and out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Ray Mickens forced him out there, and a pickup of about 6 on the play.
The one thing you got to say when you watch the New England Patriots, Robert Edwards, he's been a good first-round draft pick for the Patriots. Had a little lull in the middle of the season, but when you watch him that last run, he takes it inside. There's nothing there. He bounces out a little, nothing there, and has the speed to take that last little move and get around the corner and pick up those yards for you.
Edwards, ironically, selected with a choice that was part of the compensation in the Curtis Martin deal. Zolak pulls it down, now throws, and it falls complete. Yes. It does fall complete for a loss.
Yeah. Well, one thing you can't do in this league, Scott Zolak pumped it out there once, tried to look down the field for something better, but then by the time you go back to that first receiver, the speed of these defenders nowadays, you're lucky this ball's not knocked up in the air and incomplete. Look at it. Nope, didn't like it. Now he reshuffles, comes out. Robert Edwards catches it. Otis Smith tackles him. Now this ball could have been tipped up and picked off easily by a Jet defender.
That's the hard way to complete a pass. Clock continues to move. 9 minutes. You see the Patriots on 8 or more yards. They have failed on third down. Incomplete. Intended for Derek Cullors. Chad Cascadden was there. Patriots looking for a flag. Pete Carroll is livid.
Well, there's just nobody open. That was Greg, you said 3rd and 8+ or 0 for 3. Those are tough situations when the quarterback, one, he's not your starter, but you're not protecting him very well. Just hard to go down the field and find an open receiver. One
of the things you and I were talking about at halftime, the Jet defense has just pressured Scott Zolak like crazy in the first half of this game. Meggett is deep. And he'll let it bounce. And Tupa gets an excellent roll. That one's out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. So Vinny Testaverde and the Jets will start deep in their own territory when we come back.
American Express. American Express helps you do more. And by Dollar Rent-A-Car. Dollar makes sense.
Back at a sold-out Giant Stadium. First down for the Jets from their own 4-yard line, and a chance for the Patriots to make some hay here. Straight ahead for about 2 yards is Curtis Martin, and a little pushing and shoving. You were talking, Phil, you're a little surprised the Patriots haven't played this game with a little bit more pep and fire than they have.
Greg, you know, I'm very surprised, and I mean, it's if you're a Patriot fan, this has got to be disappointing. You're coming down here with a chance to win a game against a team that I think didn't have a lot to play for, except they just want to win 12 games. That's all they're playing for. And you had to hope to get a home game in the playoffs if you could win and Miami loses. And Miami right now is down 38-6.
On 2nd and 7, Testaverde hands to Martin again. Martin, and a penalty marker in the backfield.
And why I say that, you know, I've had a chance to play in the playoffs before as a player, and when you're home compared to being on the road, there is no comparison. So that alone, just
Holding number 88, offense. Penalties declined, third down.
Kyle Brady guilty of the hold.
And I was saying, just that emotion alone should be a lot, should give you an advantage against the team you're playing against. We have not seen that today. We have not seen it from any of the players giving that extra effort, showing that emotion. That, you know, all it takes sometimes is one or two guys to make a play to get all your teammates going, but nobody in the Patriots is able to do that so far.
Miami Dolphins losing at Atlanta today. Third and 5, Testaverde throws, far side, Corbett first down, out of bounds. At about the 25-yard line.
Well, week 16, Vinny Testaverde making good decisions, doing a lot of good things. He looked to his right to make sure that the blitz wasn't going to hurt him. And then he has Wayne Corbett against Steve Israel. Again, Wayne Corbett, the inside receiver, look at that. Has all that room, just is so quick and so sure-handed. Once he makes that move outside, immediate separation for the defensive back, and it makes it an easy throw for the quarterback.
Corbett's numbers on the day. And a couple of yards for Richie Anderson.
And, you know, you talk about so many things for the New York Jets have turned this year around. You hear all the things about Bill Parcells. Of course, the quarterback, Vinny Testaverde. But the big thing is, too, also the offensive line. The same 5 starters for the whole year. Continuity is one of the reasons you can get success in the National Football League, and the Jets have had it this year with their offensive line.
Meanwhile, there is a defensive lineman down. That looks like Henry Thomas of the New England Patriots, the 12th year veteran out of LSU.
I always get a little worried when I see them put their hands over their face. Like, a lot of times players know, but he's moving around now, so it makes you feel a lot better.
There. You take a look at the scores in Atlanta, Miami losing. Should things continue here the way they are, and in New Orleans where Buffalo is winning, then New England will travel to Jacksonville next week, and Miami will be at Buffalo.
Now, see, that is, of course, you know, I look at the Miami Dolphins. I know they've won or had 2 really tough games leading up to this final, but again, they needed to win to get that home field game. So that says something about the Atlanta Falcons. They must be, I mean, of course they're good, but I think they're pretty good.
Let me correct that. Buffalo would travel to Miami. So if things stay the way they are here in Miami and in New Orleans, then New England will travel to Jacksonville next week, and Buffalo will be in Miami to play the Dolphins.
Well, I tell you, Buffalo, Miami, Buffalo. I think Buffalo, if you made me pick a team that could really shock everybody in the playoffs, it could be the Buffalo Bills. Big-time players on defense, and the magic on offense with Flutie, but with everybody, even Rob Johnson. He steps in today and he's doing a good job. So
you tend to look at playoff teams, and you know what teams are capable of, but then there are teams that are dangerous, and you'd have to classify the Buffalo Bills as a dangerous team.
A dangerous team. How about what was it, about 6 weeks ago? We were at Denver, and what did Bill Romanowski? He was asking us all these questions about Buffalo, and I'm going, why are the questions? He goes, I just got a feeling we might see this team down the road somewhere.
That's scary. That's scary. 6 weeks ago, Bill Romanowski is thinking about the Buffalo Bills.
Well, that's not surprising when you think of Bill Romanowski. He's constantly thinking about football, all the different angles and what could happen and how he can better himself.
Jets 2nd and 8. And on the carry, it's Curtis Martin again.
Well, the Jets doing the smart thing. Let's run it on first. Let's run it on second. Let's eat the clock up. And then let's do the thing that we do really well, especially against the New England Patriots. That's convert third down plays. And we saw it a few minutes ago. 3rd and about 6. They throw it to Wayne Corbett. And now they got another 3rd and 6 situation.
Clock continues to move. Under 6 minutes to play. 5 wide receivers for the Jets. quick one over the middle. Quebec, first down.
Well, Greg, you said it. 5 wide receivers, spread them out. New England can't stop them in a lot of ways, so they go to the blitz. Now look at that, is tough. Wayne Corbett, you saw his quickness. What did he do last play? He beat Israel on the outside play. So, hey, Israel's a smart guy. He goes, I'm not going to let him go outside. So he gets the outside covered, and boom, the Jets change it up. He goes inside. Nobody there to help Steve Israel out, covering Wayne Corbett.
From the 39, the toss to Martin. Cuts it back inside, runs into the wall at about the 40. You know, you talked about how the Jets' offensive line has been intact from day one. There's an awful lot of luck to going through the NFL season as well. If you told Pete Carroll, well, you could go relatively injury-free during the season, he'd say, I'll take it.
Well, you know, that's always a big if in the National Football League. And when the season started, if you looked on paper, and almost everybody agreed, New England was as good on paper as anybody in the National Football League. But like you say, there's a lot of things that go on, and injuries are a big part of the league. And New England's been hit harder probably than any other team in the league this year.
2nd and 8 on the draw. Martin pops it outside, back inside across the 45 to about the 48-yard line.
And Curtis Martin, I mean, the Jets trying to kill the clock here in the 3rd quarter, and this is what you need. Spread them out, no lead blocker. He just keeps bouncing around, breaks a couple tackles, and picks up some extra tough yards for the Jets. Again, 3rd down. This time it's a 3rd and 1 situation.
You know, this last game before they go into the bye, the first-round playoff bye, Bill Parcells probably giving opposing coaches a little extra to look at, something else to think about.
Well, you can't give them much more to look at, all the things they've done this whole season.
The Jets have been perfect, 4 of 4 on 3rd down conversions in this approximate situation, and now they're 5 of 5. Another first down.
Well, the Jets, they really don't put a fullback in too often for Curtis Martin, but in these situations they do. Kyle Brady, number 88, you're going to watch him come to the right. Here he comes. Big tight end. Oh, yes. Now, see, don't do that too good, Kyle, because they'll start lining your big rear end back there in the backfield to lead the way for
permanent
Curtis.
basis.
Yeah, but that was an excellent job. Again, showing his versatility. He moves around a lot, can line up as a conventional tight end, but also can line up and move around as a tight end with the ability to do that.
Jets continue to rack up the first downs. The pitch to Martin, and Martin gets a couple, cutting back on the left side. Lawyer Malloy in on yet another tackle for the Patriots.
You know, the thing too, Greg, they got the ball down inside the 5-yard line. Every time Vinny Testaverde has snapped that ball, when he says go, there's about 1 or 2 seconds left on the play clock. So they are eating that clock up, taking their time. And that, of course, I know it's the 3rd quarter, but that's what you should be doing. If you take up an extra 2 or 3 minutes, that's 1 less possession for the New England Patriots where they can come back and win the game.
Fake on the end around to Keyshawn Johnson, throws downfield and nobody there. And that was a good-looking play right up until the throw.
That was a great fake by Vinny Testaverde. I looked for the end around. I go, no, he kept the football, but New England was not fooled in really good coverage down the field by Steve Israel, covering the wide receiver, trying to go for the touchdown.
So the Jets now look at 3rd and 8 on this 12th play of the drive. And only the 2nd time they faced 3rd and long.
Wow, that's how you become good at 3rd down conversions. You keep them short.
Testaverde with all kinds of time. Over the middle, Keyshawn Johnson, first down. To Bucky Jones, the rookie, with the tackle, but a 15-yard gain for the Jets.
Well, pass protection, Vinny Testaverde looking for the long ball. It's not there. And Keyshawn Johnson, Greg, he was open. Watch him when he comes in motion as he comes down the field. Here he is. Now look at him over the middle of the ball. Nobody's got him. Come on, Vinny, throw it to me. He said, and then finally, when nobody else was open down the field, Testaverde looks for the underneath receiver and picks him up.
Keyshawn Johnson over 1,100 yards receiving for the season. What a duo he and Wayne Corbett have been this year. First down from the 33. Brady inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Well, Kyle Brady, what the New York Jets have done this year, they have found out what this guy does really well. And he moves across the formations, showing that he's a good athlete with, a big tight end. And that's what he does best. Moving. Bill Parcells says he is a great blocker when he's on the move. Something that's, very uncommon for a tight end.
Testaverde with plenty of time on the play clock, which is now down to 5. Snaps the ball when it's at 2. Mark inside the 25-yard line. And one of the officials is down now. That's Ed Fiffick, who, along with Jerry Markbright and another member of this crew, Don Hakes, is retiring after this season. Here they are, the 3 officials calling it quits today. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Well, I tell you, Greg, had a lot of chances during the years to talk to all 3 of these guys on the football field. And, I just can't tell you, as a player, you get all emotional out on the football field, but they always handle themselves well, treat the players great, and that's all you can ask for.
Treat you a lot better than you treat them sometimes.
Absolutely.
As time winds down, Jerry Markbright says 15 minutes to play. That's the end of the third quarter with our score, the Jets 24 and the Patriots 3. We'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Let's go down to Armin Katan, who's right in front of that act. Armin.
I got to tell you, Greg, that was great. It's Fireman Ed from the Harlem Hilton. He wanted me to make sure everybody knew that. One of the biggest Jets fans. I came to him a few minutes ago, and I said, Ed, can you do this for us? Would you like to go on camera? He goes, man, I can't do it. I got to feel it. I can't. But he felt it, I'll tell you that.
Vinny Testaverde feels it, throwing into a touchdown. Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, the New York Jets, they've been running, faking the run. Now, this time they faked the run, and Keyshawn Johnson, look at that. He just gets behind the secondary. Everybody coming up, covering the short receiver. Again, the Patriots blow the coverage. Keyshawn Johnson wide open in the back of the end zone.
Drive of the game was 15 yards for the Jets. That was a 15-yard drive. And over on the sideline, Brian Cox comes over and says, way to go, coach. Take that and that and that.
Here on business, sir?
Yep, all business. With low rates from Dollar right at the airport, you may be tempted to...
Keyshawn Johnson coming across the formation. This causes confusion by the New England Patriots. And look, as he goes down the field, nobody sees him sneak behind the cornerback. Wide open. Lawyer Malloy tries to come over and recover for the defense, but it's too late. Twice today, so far, the Patriots have blown coverages and left somebody wide open in the back of the end zone.
Meeting the Patriots D-backs will not be a pleasant one the first part of the week. John Hall kicks. This is Derek Cullors inside the 5, the 20. 25, hurdles a tackler across the 30 to about the 33-yard line before Scott Frost makes the tackle. Keyshawn Johnson in the end zone, just as happy as a New York Jet can be this time of year. Not a bad day for young Mr. Johnson. 6 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And with those catches, he now ranks number 2 all-time in the most receptions in his first 3 seasons in the NFL, second only to Isaac Bruce.
Been pretty productive. Really kind of sneaks up on you because you think that first year and a half or so, his name, you're thinking, oh, he's just not going to be worthy of that first pick of the draft. But he has really picked it up and become as you can see, an extremely productive pass receiver in the league.
Cedric Shaw on the carry for pickup of about 2 yards. For Vinny Testaverde, it's the 3rd time in his career he's thrown 4 touchdown passes in a game, and the 2nd time this season. First time was with Baltimore.
Well, you keep thinking, and even I do as I follow the teams around the league, that all quarterbacks usually hit a 2 or 3 game skid where you just don't have it. You can't find that open receiver. You just don't throw the football as well as you'd like to. But Vinny Testaverde has not really had one of those games all year.
Tupa going to go deep and overthrow his intended receiver. That's Sean Jefferson. Let's check in once again with Jim Nantz in New York. Jim.
Well, Greg, with this Bucs blowout, we can officially, close out the Giants' playoff hopes. But Tampa Bay now still needs the Giants to win and an Arizona loss for them to get the 6th playoff spot in the NFC. And let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim. Tampa Bay certainly has to be considered one of the major disappointments in the NFL this year. They were considered by so many to be a Super Bowl contender. They still may be.
Yeah. Well, they're a team, Greg, that I would sit there if I was another playoff team and go, well, I wouldn't be that excited about playing that number 6 seed because they play you tough. It's just the thing is they have a hard time winning those close games.
Zolak out of bounds, intended for Ben Coates, and the Patriots will have to kick it away.
Well, the Patriots, when you plan to come in and run the football and try to control the pace of the game, those little things, and that's what you need to win. When that's blown out so early from you, it makes it hard to readjust and recover.
You know, you were talking about Vinny Testaverde. He hasn't really hit the skids in a game or 2 games. We may have seen the extent of his skids with a couple of those bad decisions in the first half.
That's right. He made 2 of them where it's almost cost him, but
Dave Meggett from the 19. Across the 30 to the 32. Good return from Meggett. Once again, good field position for the Jets. They lead it 31-3 here in the 4th quarter.
CBS is sponsored by the new 1999 TL Luxury Performance Pick 2 and by cold refreshing Zima. Zima, a few degrees cooler.
Back at the Meadowlands, Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan, and a happy Vinny Testaverde talking with an equally happy Jerry Markbright, it appears. His first 6 seasons, look at the number of interceptions compared to touchdown passes, and then the last 6.
Yep. Experience as a quarterback is going to help turn that around, but also he started playing for some better football teams, which always helps your statistics too.
Always helps.
Watch it.
Tarek Collins with the stop on Curtis Martin. As for today, he's just had himself a heck of a day.
Well, spread it around to all your weapons. Kyle Brady, the tight end. Then you throw it to the back out of the backfield, Curtis Martin. Then you throw it to your fastest guy on your team, Dedrick Ward. And then you pull the whole defense and Keyshawn Johnson, the steadiest receiver behind the defense for the touchdown.
The thing about the pass to Keyshawn Johnson, you said in practice, you never throw it to the deep man on that play.
You know, that play is put in. Keyshawn, it's like, hey, Keyshawn, just kind of get out of the way and go deep and all these things. And you get in the game and the defense makes a mistake. Vinny Testaverde, I tell you what, that is a testament to how they pay attention to the little things. Always check deep first, just in case the defense blows it. That time they do, then you come to the receivers underneath.
Now, I'm going to come back to you on something that we chewed about all day yesterday. Here you are in the 4th quarter of a 31-3 game, and Bill Parcells still has most of his starters, major players, still in the game.
Well, I would think this would be the last series, even though he doesn't like to pull guys, period, no matter what the score of any time of the season. But he might take Vinny Testaverde out in this situation after this drive.
And the Patriots call timeout. And that's their first timeout here in the 2nd half.
You know, Greg, we talked to Steve Sidwell, the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, and he says, man, our 3rd downs, they just beat us to death up there in the Monday Night Football game. But look at this, 12 of 14, it's unheard of in the National Football League. And the Patriots struggle in that category, but even that, saying that, to give up 12 of 14, you have no chance of winning when that happens. It continues drives. It gives an offense 3 more chances to make that play that scores. And the Jets have taken advantage of it so far today.
That man right there, Steve Sidwell, is one of the more delightful guys in the National Football League to have a discussion with, too.
Yeah, he's great. You know, he taught us a lot about football last night. He really did, and it's great listening to him. He talked about how the league has changed. You know, years ago, we all sat around. I was one of these guys. You'll never win in this league if you have the run and shoot as your offense. Well, really, so many teams are kind of doing that right now, spreading the field out so much. It's the new way that you got to play in this league to have a chance to succeed.
3rd and 9, that's Keyshawn Johnson in motion. Testaverde scrambles, throws, and almost picked off by Ty Law. Intended for Johnson, incomplete.
I was watching Ty Law that time, came with Keyshawn Johnson as he came out of the backfield, and he watched Vinny Testaverde. He waits too long to throw the ball, and he goes right in front of Keyshawn for the interception. And I'll say this, I can't say many good things about a lot of players in the Patriots today, but Ty Law has come to play and had another outstanding game.
For only the second time today, the Jets will kick it away. Kidd booms it out of there. Troy Brown back to his 12. And just barely across the 20-yard line. 55-yard punt and a 9-yard return, and Pete Carroll trying to figure things out today. Yes. First down from the 29, and Robert Edwards with the pitch. And this is Cedric Shaw, and Shaw down the sideline, midfield to the 20, and pulled down from behind inside the 10-yard line by Otis Smith.
Well, that woke the fans up here, got them back into the game, and a nice play by the New England Patriots. You know, you got to sit at home and you go, well, why didn't they save that for next week? You're down 31-3. You can't save these type of plays, and a good job of coming down the line and doing the option. And then just good running and poor tackling by the New York Jets and Cedric Shaw.
Shaw just bounced off of Brian Cox. 71-yard gain, and it's 1st and goal from the 6. Edwards to the 5. Let's go downstairs to Armin Katayan. Armin.
You know, Greg, given the unproductive nature of Scott Zolak's day, you've got to believe there's going to be more questions than ever as to whether Drew Bledsoe will be able to play next week. I spoke to him before the game. He showed us this finger, which is fractured in 2 places, and a pin was inserted 3 weeks ago. It has this little fish hook on the end. He said it's healing, but he said, I won't know until I'm cleared. If I'm cleared to practice, if I hit something that I'm aiming at during the week, I'll play. But really, he's got about 3 weeks into a 6-week rehabilitation. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thanks. Edwards, left side, inside the 5 before he is pushed back. And we asked Pete Carroll what are the chances of Drew Bledsoe playing next week, and Pete Carroll said, you know, we don't know. We have to see whether or not he can grip the football or not.
Well, it didn't sound like there's a great chance. I mean, I almost found it hard to believe, and what a job by Drew Bledsoe of playing through those couple weeks with that finger anyway, and because it's so important for that pointer finger for a quarterback when you're throwing the football, and finally it just broke down where you had to get the surgery to fix it.
3rd and goal from the 2. Edwards not going to get there. Mo Lewis coming up to make the stop.
Wow, Mo Lewis, number 57, finally going to the Pro Bowl. And Brian Cox was talking about Mo Lewis one day, and he says he can do everything. He can rush the passer. He can cover backs out of the backfield. And look at him, number 57, just stringing the play out. And I tell you, you always talk about sacks and the big plays, but stopping running plays in this league is just as important. And Mo Lewis, he knew it when he stopped that run.
If the Jets should stop the Patriots here on 4th down, you will hear a roar from this crowd. From the 4. Zolak, end zone, incomplete. Intended for Ben Coates. It's been that kind of a day for Pete Carroll and the New England Patriots, and that kind of a day for the New York Jets. 9:11 to play here in the 4th.
the NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Honda Civic. What about now?
Welcome back to the Meadowlands in East Rutherford. The Jets lead the Patriots 31-3, and Glenn Foley has come on to play the remainder of this fourth quarter as Vinny Testaverde on the sidelines with a job well done. 17 for 27 today, 179 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception.
Another solid day for Vinny Testaverde standing next to Keyshawn Johnson. I mean, the skilled players for the Jets come up big every single week. That's why they're going to finish 12-4.
This is Dave Meggett. Meggett out to about 5 and a pickup of 2. This is a Bill Parcells guy, if there ever was one, with Bill Parcells with the Giants, with him in New England, and with him here at the Jets now.
Well, a lot of reasons for that. One, he's a very smart football player, gets along with all of his teammates very well, and this is a good opportunity for the coaching staff of the Jets and Dave Meggett. Get him into the lineup, get him a few carries so he'll have a chance to be more productive when the playoffs come.
Going to pitch it to Meggett, who's going to go right side this time, and not much there. A couple. You know, the clock continues to move.
When Coach Parcells called him a couple weeks ago, we talked about this a little last week. He calls him, he says, Dave, and before he can get anything out of his mouth, Meggett says, if you need me, I can help. And Bill goes, well, okay. He goes, I'll come and work out for you. I'll be there tomorrow. And he came, and Parcells said, the coaching staff, they go out on the field, and he says after about 2 minutes, they all looked at each other and said, we've seen enough. He's in good shape. He can help us, and so they brought him in.
Foley on 3rd and 6 throws his first pass of the day, and that's complete to Dedrick Ward, and that's enough for a Jets first down. You know, another thing about Dave Meggett, we were talking with Keyshawn Johnson. He says, I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've heard, he's going to score a touchdown every time he catches a punt.
Oh, yeah, no, we laughed about that. That's what happens when you get away from the game a while and you start hearing all those stories. Well, you know, Bill Parcells is not going to tell stories about how bad the guy is to the other players, so Keyshawn's never played with him. Hey, Keyshawn, wait till you see this guy. He is really something. And, you know, and he's not exaggerating with Dave Meggett. He can do everything. And, you know, the fact that he came in 2 days of practice, was ready to play a football game last week against Buffalo, says a lot about him.
Meggett left side, and not much there. And a little pushing and shoving between Lawyer Malloy, number 36.
Big Jumbo. Now,
Jumbo Elliott.
Look at Jumbo. Look at Jerry Mark right next to him. Now, why would you want to mess with that? You know, I know why. Because you got all this equipment on. You know they're not going to get in the fight and he can't beat you up. So you go ahead and pick a fight with the big guy.
You get brave with some pads and
Absolutely.
things. Absolutely. Jumbo only goes 6'7", 310 pounds.
And I will say this too. Jumbo Elliott in the best shape probably of his career. Just, you know, takes care of himself now more than ever as a veteran, runs. One of the reasons why he stayed healthy all year long.
Foley with a rocket, incomplete. Ty Law on Dedrick Ward, or rather Alex Van Dyke, the intended receiver.
Now you talk about always playing, and this is why some players will play when they're banged up a little and maybe not where they should be to play the game. Glenn Foley, you know, he didn't do that bad of a job when he was starting the quarterback for New York Jets this year, but he gets banged up. Vinny Testaverde comes in and plays so well that you cannot get back in the lineup, and there's a couple of them have this year. Look at Doug Flutie in Buffalo. Came in, played well. You're the starting quarterback, you're going to lose your job.
Foley throws it away. Incomplete. And on 3rd and 11, that means the Jets will have to kick it away now on 4th down. Well, Glenn Foley has to look at this situation here. Figure Vinny Testaverde is set for the next several years because all they've talked about the last couple of weeks is a new deal for Vinny Testaverde.
Right, and it will be worked out. And if you're Glenn Foley, I mean, I don't know what to do. You could say, I want to get out of here and have a chance to start somewhere else. But you could say, it's a good situation. The chance will always arise again for you. You will get another shot to play. You just got to wait and take advantage of it when it does come.
This punt bounces back. And it's at the 48-yard line. So we continue to look at the playoff possibilities now. The Jets will look at a week off. Was that a huge deal to you, that week off at the end of the season?
It is awesome. I mean, you actually, really as a player in the National Football League, you never get a chance to like catch your breath and relax. Now, when you get that week off, you can actually go home, and a couple of nights that week you can go, man, this feels good. You know, relax, and you can heal up. And what it does, I think even Coach Parcells, we were asking him those questions, what it does, it makes the players anticipate even more when that game comes along. So they're very excited to get out there and make things happen.
On first down, Edwards. And Edwards maybe to the 45. For an NFL Today report, let's go over to Jim Nantz across the river in our New York studio.
All right, Greg, at one time this game was 28-0 Buffalo. Billy Joe Tolliver brought the Saints back within 10, but moments ago, Johnson & Johnson hook up. Rob Talani, and the Bills are back ahead by 17 with about 13 minutes remaining. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, I'd say those Buffalo Bills are getting tuned up for the action next week. And as we said, if things continue the way they are now, Miami losing, Buffalo winning, New England losing, Buffalo will make the trip to Miami next week for their playoff opener. Zolak to throw. This side, complete and out of bounds to tight end Lovett Purnell. Meanwhile, Bill Parcells, you know, this Jets team was never noted to be a December team. Well, Parcells has changed all that, hasn't he?
Well, you can look at his record in his coaching career, and it's not really a big surprise. Of course, to me, having played for him, his record gets a little better as the year goes along. It's because he's persistent. He never lets up on you as a player. And what I mean, mentally, of course, he's on you, keeps challenging you to do things in the game, but physically, he really does not ease up with his practice schedule as the year goes along. He expects players to practice hard and practice well the whole year.
Purnell with the catch on the far side, and that's enough for a first down.
You know, we heard that last week. We talked to Vinny Testaverde, and he even kind of laughed about it. He goes, I've never been anywhere where practice was so important, where the coaches put so much pressure on you to go out there and perform every day. And he laughed because when they were getting ready for Buffalo, he went out one day and completed like 25 of 35. Those were like the actual stats. And Bill was beside himself. Vinny, you know, are you losing the gas? What's going on? You know, is everything okay at home? Are you studying as much as you used to? And, you know, Testaverde just kind of laughed. You know, that's the way it is.
Zolak wants it all. Anthony Ladd overthrew him at the goal line.
But to kind of finish it off, Greg, though, Vinny Testaverde was saying sometimes the games are actually easier because you just get tired of the pressure and hearing it in practice. Every play, every mistake just brought up to you, and the pressure to keep performing well.
Here's what happens in every one of our meetings with the Jets. You always ask the player, all right, what's Parcells' favorite dig at you? What's his favorite dig? What was his favorite one to get to you?
Well,
straight ahead running, Cedric Shaw.
Well, I have to think, because I don't know if I can phrase it, you know, for TV. I always said to him, I got to check my birth certificate and see what my name was when I was around him. But the toughest one by far, we were just talking about it, I would be going out to the practice field. You know, you learn a lot during the classroom during the day, and as I would be going out, I'd have to pass him, which is the worst thing, and he'd go, hey, are we going to complete some passes today in practice? Can you just complete a few so I can go home and sleep some tonight? I couldn't sleep last night. You were so bad. I mean, the coaches are working. And, you know, just so.
Zolak with a bullet incomplete. Ladd, his intended receiver. And that was on fourth down, third down. And so it'll be 4th and 7.
You know, Greg, a lot of people are going to say, well, this and that, and Armin kind of touched on it earlier. Drew Bledsoe, will he come back? You know, Scott Zolak has done a fine job today. I mean, I haven't seen him really miss wide open receivers or bad reads. Hasn't had the time, and when he does, nobody's getting open down the field.
4th and 7, quick slant, incomplete, almost intercepted by number 24, Ray Mickens, and the ball will go over now to the New York Jets. Unfortunately, moments like this come along, and we are sad to report that Charlie Blum, manager of technical field operations at CBS, passed away this morning. Charlie was a 16-year veteran of our network, and all of us here at CBS pass along our sincere condolences to his friends and family. 4:06 to play, fourth quarter, and the Jets take over at their own 34.
Now we got another quarterback. Looks like Ray Lucas is coming in at quarterback now.
Well, do you think Glenn Foley got loose enough?
Well, they got him well oiled for the playoffs, you know, so he's all ready.
Gerald Soule is in the backfield for the Jets, and will take the pitch here. Across the 35 to about the 37-yard line, and the clock continues to move. Ray Lucas, third year man out of Rutgers, excuse me.
Yeah, he called years ago. He was out of football, trying to get a tryout. Bill Parcells calls him. Ray Lucas, well, what do you want? What am I going to do? And Bill says, just come up. Let's talk and we'll see what can happen. He says he gets up there one morning. Bill's coming to his office when he's with the Patriots. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. There's Ray Lucas sitting in the car, coat and tie on, waiting for Bill Parcells to show up.
Soule again. You know, we were talking about Parcells and his various digs, and you don't always get to hear all of them. On my way upstairs through the stadium this morning, I saw Bill downstairs, and he said, "You working with Sims today?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, we all have our crosses to bear."
Oh, well, that's very nice. Thank you, Greg. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want you to see him this week and not be prepared.
Yes, okay.
3rd and 6 for the Jets. Clock continues to move. We are under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth. Lucas throws on the run, incomplete. Kyle Brady, his intended receiver, on the far side, and the Jets will kick it away.
Well, you know, you look at this football game today. We talked about it earlier. How do the Jets get up? How do they be prepared emotionally? That's what I really thought would be the tough thing for them. They come out, they play extremely well, but what they also show, whoever's going to get ready for the playoffs, you better do a lot of preparation because they're going to give you a lot of looks on both sides of the football and just make it hard from the mental standpoint for your football team.
Beautiful kick. Troy Brown across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Now, Pete Carroll, we talked about how the Jets look very, very ready for the postseason. What does Pete Carroll do this week?
Well, you know, that's a good question. I think he goes home. He's got to really sit down, think about things, reevaluate. I think it's a tough job for him. Now, he's got to somehow convince his football team that they can turn around what happened today and go on the road in a playoff atmosphere and get it done and play better, play with more emotion. And of course, you got to play better physically, too.
And so many of his problems would be solved if only Drew Bledsoe can grab a football this week.
You know, but Drew Bledsoe didn't give up the 31. I mean, Scott Zolak didn't give up the 31 points today. There's a lot of problems right now with the Patriots, and I don't know if Drew Bledsoe can solve them all.
Shaw out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
You know, when you look at the Patriots, things that have plagued them this year, lack of pass rush, which what it's done is really exposed a lot of their secondary people. I mean, they got a good secondary, but what happens in the National Football League now, you need that third and fourth corner who can cover the extra receivers when they come in the game. And the Patriots have struggled with that all year long, and today we really saw it. Backup corners trying to cover some wide receivers for the Jets and giving up big plays.
78 is Bruce Armstrong as he watches the rest of the game from the sideline. Loose football, and Cedric Shaw falls on it. And that will likely take us to the 2-minute warning. Jerry Markbright says 2 minutes to go, and my last regular season game is unofficial.
Last regular season game, 457 games in the National Football League. I asked Jerry before the game, I said, Jerry, what are you going to do in retirement? He gave me a big smile. He goes, man, I'm going to ride off into the sunset. But actually not quite. An official from the NFL told me that both Mark Wright and Jim Tunney, the former great referee himself, are going to be brought back into the league office over the offseason to help really look at the whole officiating situation, including instant replay. So we may have not heard the end of Jerry Markwright. Greg, back to you.
Thanks, Armin. We hope not. Jerry Markwright, one of the more colorful figures. And Cedric Shaw has run out of bounds. You know, Jerry Markwright is an old friend from Chicago, and when he used to officiate high school football games in Chicago, he was every bit the same official as he is now.
Well, that says a lot about him. You know, I've said some things about him today. I'll never forget, we played in the Super Bowl one year. I took my helmet off when there was a call down the field I didn't like. I threw it on the ground while I was out on the field, and he goes, Phil, did you drop your helmet? And I looked at him and I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He says, did you drop your helmet? Because if you threw it, that's a 15-yard penalty. I said, I dropped it, Jerry. Thank you. And I picked it up and walked off the field. But, you know, he knows he's just part of the game. He doesn't try to override it or
dominate it, yeah.
Or dominate it, that's right.
Pass to Tony Carter. That's out of bounds, and that's enough for a New England first down. 10-yard pickup on the play.
And, of course, I always appreciated what he did on the field, too, because one of his main jobs, Greg, is to protect the quarterback. So, you know, like that.
Minute 49 to play here in the fourth quarter. Both these teams headed for the postseason. Jets get a bye next week. And from all indications, New England will travel to Jacksonville. Zolak, deep and incomplete. Intended for number 81, Tony Simmons. While we have the opportunity, we want to remind you the executive producer of CBS Sports is Terry Ewert. The producer of today's game is Mark Wolf. Coordinating director of the NFL on CBS is Larry Cavallina. The senior producer of the NFL Today is Eric Mann. The NFL Today is directed by Bob Matina. And the associate director of today's game is Ross Schneiderman. Our associate producers Chris Svensson and Peter Rogaris, and our broadcast associates Steve Karasik and Greg Freeman. Our thanks to them and to an outstanding crew for an outstanding regular season.
You know, Mark Wolf, our director, and Larry Cavallina, Mark Wolf, our producer, Larry Cavallina, our director. Did you get your Christmas present from them?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, I know I did. It was good.
What'd you get from Mark?
Merry Christmas. You know, I got to tell you the truth. Here, last night we go to the meeting. He says, hey, Mark Wolf, our director, goes, hey, Phil, Merry Christmas. You know, our producer screwed up again. He goes, Merry Christmas. He gives me a beautiful pin. It's great. I'm so excited.
Scott Zolak down the sideline. Bobble, caught, touchdown. Tony Simmons says, hold that story, Sims.
Yeah. Well, good job by Scott Zolak, just giving the ball, putting it up in the air, giving it some air time, and letting his receiver, Tony Simmons, just run under it and tip it up and make the play and get the touchdown.
Marcus Coleman, number 42, the man down the sideline on the coverage.
And look at that throw, a lot of air under the football. Marcus Coleman can't quite get there, and Tony Simmons gets it up in the air and pulls it in for the touchdown.
So you got this pen.
So we got the pen. Scott Zolak comes in and is talking to me, and I'm writing away, and I'm happy. I got this new pen, and we're going along, and all of a sudden, it just dies. It's over. And you look at me, I go, it's already out of ink. A brand new Christmas pen.
Merry Christmas, Phil.
I think he did it on purpose.
The extra point by Vinatieri is good, and with a minute 31 to play, the Jets' lead is now 31-10. And let's take another look.
Well, again, we've talked about it today. I think one of the really good things Scott Zolak does, he puts a lot of air under the long ball, and Tony Simmons just showing his speed, and of course the size too, that makes it hard for defensive backs to go through him and break up certain passes, and this is an example of one. Boy, that is good concentration. It actually went off of his face mask and popped up in the air. Yeah, that'll bring a little smile to your face, even though the score is 31-10. it'll make a few players feel better.
Jet defense had been pretty stingy in the fourth quarter. Until that point, they had allowed just 7 fourth-quarter points in their previous 4 home games. Zolak's numbers for the day.
You can see why the New England Patriots with Scott Zolak, when you just watch him play, you can see why they've kept him all these years as a backup. Why he's a valuable backup is because, Greg, you talked about it, has the size, he has the arm strength, and, you know, when you get in trouble, he came in last week, Drew Bledsoe gets hurt, came in last week and played well under pressure.
It can't be an easy job. Onside kick. Touched by a Jet. Out of bounds. And the conversation ensues.
Well, I think they're thinking that New England touched this ball before it went 10 yards, which would be illegal touching. I couldn't tell. It looked like Keyshawn Johnson jumped up in the air and grabbed it and missed it, and the ball went out of bounds.
Happy retirement, Jerry Markwright.
Nah, it's been a good, clean game for him today.
But one last conference before he turns the lights out. Here's Jerry.
Yes, it would be a re-kick.
The kickoff was illegally touched by number 58 kicking team. 5-yard penalty and re-kick.
Yeah, that's what it was, an illegal touching. Let's see as it goes out. Watch the ball pop up in the air. Keyshawn gets right off his helmet. And okay. Well, maybe it hit in bounds, and now could have been in bounds still. Now was knocked out by Marty Moore, number 58. Now this time, you get a second chance at this. This ball is now kicked out of bounds no matter what. Even if it's short of 10 yards, it will be Jet football.
Jets football. So the ball has to get to at least the 35-yard line. And that whistle is going to bring everything to a halt. I want to remind you, this is a doubleheader Sunday here on CBS. Coming up, most of you will see Seattle and Denver. Some of you will see San Diego at Arizona as the Cardinals look to qualify for the postseason.
2 good games. I'd look for the Denver Broncos to come out today and try to...
There was a whistle blown from the stands. We're going to redo the play.
Oh. Do you think Jerry's just trying to get a little extra TV time before this last game's over? Is that what it is?
Jerry wouldn't do that.
I could hear the whistle from the stands, though, so that was a good call. I thought it came from the field.
Speaking of the Cardinals, how would you like a Jake Plummer-type contract?
No, I wouldn't like that. That's too much pressure. You don't need all that money.
He is fun to watch, though.
Yes, he is. But I was talking about the Denver Broncos. I think they'll come out, try to get back in sync, try to get Terrell Davis and their running game going. I look for them to play really well today against Seattle.
This time the Jets corral the football. Number 20, Richie Anderson, has it. And the Jets will be in position to run out the clock. There's Keith Byers, who has sat out the last few games with a broken left arm, but you figure he'll be back in uniform and ready to play in 2 weeks when the postseason begins.
I think he will. You know, there was some questions that they actually thought they were going to dress him today and make him part of the game plan, but he was scratched this morning, so if he was that close in 2 weeks, he should definitely be part of the game plan for the New York Jets.
There are some questions to be answered this week, such as, you know, the Buffalo Bills going pretty well today, but what's Doug Flutie's situation with the leg?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see too. But the one good thing for them, looks like they were playing pretty well as a team today, and Rob Johnson came in and seen a couple touchdown passes. Looks like he's throwing the ball well too.
Buffalo will be at Miami. New England will be at Jacksonville in the AFC.
Boy, you look at fourth victory in December, the most in team history. It's, you know, this Jet team, you know, Greg kind of says it, they just continue to improve on what they're trying to do all year long. It shows in the record 12-4. I think no matter who you are and what how big a supporter you are of Bill Parcells, you've got to be surprised, not only the 12-4 record, but how they've done it by just playing so well and executing so many games, just game after game.
Parcells and the Jets started the season with consecutive losses. An overtime loss at San Francisco and then came home to lose to Baltimore. They lost at St. Louis 30-10, and they lost at Indianapolis late 24-23. But they now have won 10 of their last 11. The first time they have won 12 regular season games, and as champions of the AFC East and the second best record in the AFC, they will get a first round bye.